Winter on a canal boat is one of the greatest experiences of my life. Recently, I had some of my snowy videos go viral, and I had a huge amount of questions from people who'd never seen anything like this before. So here I'm going to share some of my favourite ever boat life winter footage, as well as add in a dose of a reality check from various elements of life in these sort of times. So the biggest one is obviously, oh, I bet it's freezing on that boat, bet it's cold on that boat though. And I think some of the people who are saying that actually want it to be so that they can find a reason to hate it. But as you can see, we've got a lovely fire going here. The fire is actually too big for the boat really, and you can see if you look closely around the edges, it's bricked up to make the burning area smaller. So here, with that fire burning at 10 to midnight, -3 degrees outside, a ridiculous 30 degrees on board. Now, of course, that's far too hot, and I obviously had overstacked it. But when you're heading to bed and the living room is 30 degrees and pumping out that heat to the rest of the boat, well, you're going to be toasty for a good while to come. But this is a reality check, so we must be completely honest here. If you've been out all day and the fire hasn't been lit, and you come back in the evening to a boat that's been sat in temperatures and weather conditions like this, you're going to find that boat very, very chilly on the inside too. However, if you get the fire going, because there's such a small area to heat inside the boat, you're of course going to be able to heat that space a lot quicker than if you came into the same temperature household with much higher ceilings and larger rooms. So again, there you could see at 6 in the morning it was 25 degrees and life was all good. Of course, as well, it's worth mentioning that newer or fancier boats than the boats that I've lived on over the years might have modern heating systems, so you can have them on timers and not be worried about burning sticks and things like that. Another question: does the canal freeze during winter? Well, firstly, it depends on how bad the winter is, because as many people from Britain will know, this sort of weather is a rarity. It's beautiful and therefore it's well overrepresented in online footage of the British wintertime. However, in reality, you get a lot of much milder weather, greyer and wetter times, which is no good for anybody, and of course massively reduces the chances that any canals are going to freeze up. If it is a really bitter freezing winter, however, you'll find that places like the marinas and basins are more likely to freeze initially because of the more standing nature of the water without a through flow of current, and some canals, such as this one, have a much faster flow than others and are therefore also far less likely to freeze than other parts of the UK. Finishing on the note of the weather, as I've said, this kind of footage is massively overrepresented online because of how wonderful it looks. However, some winters, such as last year from 23 to 24, we had no snow in these parts, and I don't think we even had a single frost. However, this year we've already had multiple snowfalls, so it can wildly change from season to season. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my other videos for loads more stuff like this. If you want to help me out, please consider checking out my boat life books. Search Amazon for The Narrowboat Lad. And please consider some of the paid subscriptions and memberships that are available on various sites. It all helps out, and I've got exclusive content coming to those soon. Thank you so much for your time, and, well, keep it boat worthy, keep it snow worthy, have a fantastic day, and of course, my friends, farewell.